Our next speaker in this Speak Out today is a very important key leader in Washington, D.C., and also a key leader nationally. But Washington, D.C. is important. We do not want to neglect the communities here that are facing terrible crisis in terms of unemployment and devastation. So I want to welcome Reverend Graylan Hagler.
All right, Jay. Graylan Hagler from Boston too.
Amen. From Boston too. I'm glad to see you all out here. I'm glad to be out here with you, because one of the things that we got to be very vigilant about is that in many ways, you know, as a country, we've been so elated in the election of President Barack Obama as for the first black president to be elected in the United States, that we have basically gone to the sidelines when we need to be out here advocating and basically putting the demand on so that this administration does what it's supposed to do, and that is to feed the people, to cause employment opportunity for the people, and not just to fill the coffers of banks and businesses. That's what we're out here about, is that as a preacher, I come down to this time where we've entered into Advent, and you know Advent is that time where we go towards the celebration of Christmas. And I keep reminding people that it's really not about just the sort of giving of presents and this idea of Christmas parties. But what it's really about is that we begin to create a world that is filled with justice, a world that is filled with people acting rightly towards each other, to build a world where people respect each other and where every human being has the dignity and the hope of a future and a bright future. That's what we're to build here in this season. And so we cannot let up. We got to keep the pressure on. We got to be out here, because one thing is sure, is that everybody that is operating against working people have put the pressure on this administration. They've been there. They've been in the fights. They've been in the boardrooms. They've been hollering and screaming to get their agenda through. Just look at where we are in terms of the health care debate. You think that the insurance corporations were not pushing and shoving, and the right wing pushing and shoving, and the fact is that we got to push and shove, because folks will not do what is right unless we make them do what is right. So it's up to us to stand out here in this season, here on Pennsylvania Avenue, in front of the White House, while people are huddled in a room, and we don't know even who's huddled in that room, but we're out here to say, you got to respect the people. Begin to create the kind of economy that put families back to work all over the country. We see people in foreclosure. I'm with an organization called the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America. And we realize that as we come into this season, the foreclosure rates and the delinquency rate continues to go up. And at first people started talking about subprime loans. But now you're talking about people who got prime loans. Why? Because there is a continual downsizing of the workforce in this country. And when people get jobs again, it's for less, and it basically protects them less and protects their families less. And so they end up in economic trouble. So it's up to us to begin to talk about what's humane and what is right. It's up to us to talk about that it should be a basic right that every woman, every man should have the dignity of a job with a future, of a job. Each person, each family, each neighborhood should be able to bring home what is needed to be brought home. Now we're talking about this time where we want to lead the world in the wrong things. We want to lead the world in war. None of us are standing up here in favor of war, whether it's in Iraq or Afghanistan. You understand that, Mr. President? We do not agree with spending billions and trillions of dollars to go into another country and to further disrupt that country and to further kill human life. What we're standing up for is justice and peace and what is right. And we are demanding at this time that when we look and we start talking about jobs and an economy, that economy is built in a progressive way. We should be leading the world not in war, but in really building a green economy. We should be leading the world not in war, but making sure that every citizen in this country has the right and the decency of a potential and a great economic future. We should be leading the country. We should be leading the world. Again, not in war, but in making sure that the kinds of jobs that are created will be jobs that will contribute to the common good. Instead of leading the world in war, we need a gigantic jobs program once again in this country that puts everyone to work and allows the artists to be artists and allows the craftsman to be a craftsman or the craftswoman to be a craftswoman. We need to have the kind of jobs that put dignity back in the fabric of this society. If we can reward the banks, we can surely reward the workers in this country. We're standing up here demanding that, saying that we will not disappear. We will continue to keep the pressure on. And I got to say this before I finish. One thing I realized when you saw the summer with the sort of healthcare debate, the right wing took our tactics. They disrupted meetings. They got folks so intimidated that folks began to lose their moral compass. And what I'm saying is that nothing should happen again without us being in the room, without us putting the pressure on, without us raising our voices, without us speaking about what is moral and what is right and what is just. We got to continue to push this administration so that Obama can truly be Obama. It is up to us what agenda happens in this country. And so God bless you, sisters and brothers. Let us continue to move forward, speak out, stand up, build up until justice is won. As Amos says, let justice roll down like water and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. It's up to us. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.